You prayed, you believed, you waited, and still nothing changed. Everyone around you seems to be moving forward, getting the job, finding the relationship, receiving the breakthrough. And you are sitting quietly in the same place, asking the one question nobody wants to admit they are asking. Did God forget about me? If that thought has ever crossed your mind, even once, even in a whisper at 2 a.m. when nobody else could hear you, this video is for you. Because there is something about God's timing that almost nobody prepares you for. It rarely makes sense while you are in the middle of it. And today, Living Word Daily is going to walk you through exactly why that is, and what to do while you wait. Stay with me until the end, because what I am going to share in the final part of this video might be the most important thing you hear this week. Let us start with Joseph. And if you think you know this story, stay with me, because there is something in it most people completely miss. Joseph received a dream directly from God. Not a maybe, not a possibility, a promise. He was going to be great. His own brothers would one day bow before him. God said it, Joseph believed it. And then life happened. His brothers threw him into a pit, then sold him into slavery. Then he was falsely accused by someone he had served faithfully, then thrown into prison, then forgotten by the very people he had helped on the inside. 13 years, people. 13 years between the promise and the palace. And every single one of those years had to have hurt deeply. The betrayal hurt.
The false accusation hurt. Sitting in that prison cell, watching time pass, watching other people move forward, wondering whether God had simply moved on without him. That had to hurt in ways words cannot fully describe. But here is what most people gloss over when they tell the Joseph story. God was not absent during those 13 years. God was building something. The prison was not a punishment. It was a preparation. Every layer of pain was shaping Joseph into someone who could actually carry the weight of what was coming. Because the promise God gives you always requires a version of you that does not yet exist when he gives it. Now, let us talk about Lazarus, because this story cuts even deeper. Jesus received word that his close friend Lazarus was sick, dying. And what did Jesus do? He waited. John chapter 11 verse 6 says this, "When he heard that Lazarus was sick, he stayed where he was 2 more days." 2 days, while Lazarus got worse, while Mary and Martha were devastated and confused and heartbroken, while everyone around them was watching a man they loved slip away. Jesus waited. By the time he arrived, Lazarus had been dead 4 days, and Martha met him on the road with words that carry the weight of every person who has ever been in a waiting season. She said, "Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died." John chapter 11, verse 21. That is not just Martha talking. That is every one of us who has ever watched something die while we were waiting on God to show up. The relationship, the opportunity, the dream, the health, the hope. Lord, if you had just come sooner, this would not have happened. But Jesus already knew what he was about to do. He wept with them in their grief. He did not dismiss their pain. He sat in it with them. And then he called Lazarus out of the tomb. What looked like God being too late was actually God setting up something nobody in that crowd had even thought to pray for. Not healing, resurrection. Because God does not just restore what was lost. Sometimes he raises what looked completely dead and makes it more alive than it ever was before. That is the pattern all through Scripture. The pain of waiting is real. The confusion is real. The exhaustion is real. But God is working through all of it, in ways you simply cannot see from where you are standing right now. So what do you do while you wait? Living Word Daily gives you 3 things to hold on to. Number 1, keep showing up. Do not stop praying just because the answer has not come yet. The fact that you are still praying means you still believe, and that matters far more than you think. Heaven is not silent because God is absent. Sometimes heaven is quiet because God is working on something too big to explain in a single moment.
Number 2, watch your mouth. When the wait gets long, it becomes dangerously easy to start speaking defeat over your own life. But Proverbs 18 verse 21 is clear. Death and life are in the power of the tongue. Speak what God said, not what you currently see. Your words are either building your faith or slowly dismantling it. Choose carefully. Number 3, stay in the process. Joseph did not check out in prison. He kept doing good work. He kept serving faithfully. He kept his character completely intact, even when nobody was watching and nobody seemed to care. And when his moment finally came, he was ready. Because preparation never stops just because the promise has not arrived yet. And here is something I want you to sit with for a moment, because this is the part most people skip over. Nobody is going to stand here and tell you that waiting is easy. It is not. It genuinely hurts to believe God for something and watch the days turn into weeks, the weeks turn into months, and sometimes the months stretch into years. It hurts to watch other people receive the very thing you have been on your knees about. It hurts to keep your faith together when everything around you is falling apart. And God is not asking you to pretend that it does not hurt. If this video is speaking to you right now, this is the moment to subscribe to Living Word Daily. Every single week, we bring you real, scripture-based teaching built for real-life struggles. Hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications so you never miss a word. Look at Job. The Bible itself called this man blameless, and he still lost his children, his wealth, and his health in what felt like an instant. And Job did not hold it together quietly. He cried out loudly. He sat in ashes and wept and questioned and said things like, "Let the day perish when I was born." Job chapter 3, verse 3. That is not a man who had everything figured out. That is a man in genuine agony. But here is what Job never did, not once through all of it. He never walked away from God. In the middle of losing everything, in the middle of confusion and pain he could not explain or understand, he said these words in Job chapter 13, verse 15, "Though he slay me, yet will I trust him." That right there is what real faith looks like. Not the absence of struggle, not the absence of tears or impatience or disappointment. Faith is choosing to hold on anyway, even when holding on makes absolutely no logical sense to anyone watching from the outside. And here is why the 3 things we talked about matter so deeply. When you keep showing up in prayer, even when heaven feels completely silent, your faith grows because you are training yourself to seek God for who He is, not just for what He can give you. When you watch your mouth and keep speaking what God said over your life, your faith grows because your own words are reminding your heart what you believe, even on the days you can barely feel it. And when you stay in the process, keep serving, keep your character, keep doing the next right thing in front of you, your faith grows because you are becoming the person who can actually carry the promise when it finally arrives. The wait is not wasted. It is working on you while God works for you. And God always, always rewards faithfulness. Job chapter 42, verse 10. God restored his losses and gave him twice as much as he had before. Joseph did not just survive Egypt. He became the second most powerful man in it. Abraham did not just get a son. He became the father of entire nations.
every single person in Scripture who held on through the hard season came out on the other side of something greater than what they lost. And you will too. So do not quit on God because the timing does not look the way you expected it to look. The same God who was faithful to Job, to Joseph, to Abraham, to Lazarus, to every broken person in that Bible who chose to hold on, He is faithful to you. Your breakthrough is not lost. It is not forgotten. It has not been given to someone else. You will one day look back at this very season and realize that God was never late. He was setting everything in place. Every delay was a detail. Every closed door was a direction. Every painful waiting room was a preparation room. Hold on. Your moment is coming. If this encouraged you today, share this video right now with someone who is in their waiting season. They need to hear this today. And drop a comment below. Tell God thank you right there in the comments section. Let us fill this place with faith together. And if you are not yet part of the Living Word Daily family, subscribe right now. New videos every week. Real scripture, real life. No fluff. Stay rooted, stay faithful. God has not forgotten you.